A few weeks ago, the Wall Street Journal announced the profit figures for Microsoft, and they also said that in this industry, the only companies really doing well are Intel, Microsoft, and perhaps Compaq. Could you comment on the possibility of competing against monopolies that the Justice Department seems to, for some strange reason, to avoid prosecuting for antitrust?
You know, one of the things I feel very strongly about is that, well, I'll go back. The day we started Apple Computer, IBM was far more powerful in the computer industry than Microsoft and Intel are today. The day we started Apple, because they not only controlled the technologies, they controlled the customer. They had direct contact with the customer. And so we should have just given up. I mean, Woz, I should have just nudged Woz, hey, forget it. We don't have a chance. But we were too stupid to know that. We hadn't gone to business school. We didn't read we didn't even know what the Wall Street Journal was. I'd never seen a Wall Street Journal. And that served us well. So, what can I say? I think every good product that I've ever seen in this industry and pretty much anywhere is because a group of people cared deeply about making something wonderful that they and their friends wanted. You know? They wanted to use it themselves. And that's how the Apple I came about, that's how the Apple II came about, that's how the Macintosh came about. That's almost everything I know that's good has come about. It didn't come about because people were trembling in the corner, worried about some big company stomping on them. Because if a big company made the product that was right, then most of these things wouldn't have happened. I mean, if Woz and I could have went out and plunked down, $2,000 and bought an Apple II, why would we have built one? We weren't trying to start a company. We were trying to get a computer. So I'll tell you right now, I'll give you an example. I get about 200 email messages a day, sans all of the get-rich-quick ones from the internet. And I've been in that mode now for 5, 6, 7 years. And I've used about and email to me is the most important app I use. And I've used every email system I know of out there. And I can tell you that the one on Next Step or Rhapsody is literally, almost an order of magnitude better, more productive than anything else I know of. I mean, I walk around Apple, and they're using Eudora. They're using the worst mail system in the world at Apple. And I know we could improve the productivity inside Apple 30% if we just give them a good email system. And so it's amazing to me that something as obvious as email is so broken out there. Netscape's is awful. I mean, everybody's is awful. And if something as obvious as email is so broken, I'll give you, and the other one I mentioned before, spreadsheets. If you used Improv or Quantrix for a week, you would go, how come this hasn't completely replaced Excel? For 75% of the people out there. Yeah, there's 25% that'll still want Excel, for good reasons. But for 75% of the people, why hasn't this replaced it? And there are no answers to these questions, except let's go do it. And that's my attitude about this thing. The other thing I feel very, very, very strongly is it's incredibly stupid for Apple to get in a position where for Apple to win, Microsoft has to lose. That's really dumb. I mean, I don't expect the federal government to break up Microsoft for a lot of reasons, the least of which is the federal government's a monopoly. I mean, they're buddies. So Microsoft's a fact of life. They're like the air we breathe, you know? Yeah. So, or probably the better analogy is like bottled water, because you do have to buy it. But nonetheless, Apple can win without having to have Microsoft lose. I firmly believe that. And hopefully, Microsoft will increasingly over time realize that that is the case, and that Apple represents a quite profitable part of their business. And they seem to be coming around to that point of view. So, and there's been some alliances announced between Microsoft and Apple, and so I think that I really strongly feel that setting Microsoft up as Satan and having a holy war against Microsoft would be exactly the wrong thing for Apple to do. There are so many opportunities out there where Apple can really have tremendous advantage and not have to go head-to-head with Microsoft, but really go right to the customers.